Good evening, dear friends. I'm streaming for you again. Our topic today is not an ordinary one, it is very complicated. And today, I would like to invite to the screens only those who are ready to hear and listen, who are ready to figure out what is happening in the world, what is happening with life. Today, I want to invite those people who are ready to learn, listen, hear, understand, and realize. And people who can only argue, hate, and envy, unfortunately, this program is not for them. This is how I want to conduct today's broadcast. I want to explain to you what is happening, what the name means, war on the astral level, and I want to give you advice and recommendations at the end of our program, which will help you to avoid difficulties, troubles, and problems, and help you to save yourself, your life, and your souls. And indeed, when you find out what is really happening on the planet, and what has actually been hidden from you for many ages and centuries, you will understand that it is no longer possible to sit idly by. Either you will fight for your life, for your soul, for your consciousness, for yourself, or you will lose. Yes, my friends, this is the current reality of this world. So let's start now with what is the astral space of this planet. There is a lot of information about it. I will only tell you what is the main and principal. Although I understand and take into account that my words may not be clear to everyone, I also take this into account. But my friends, if my words not entirely clear to you, look for the answers and the meaning of all those words and phrases that I will tell you today. I will try to explain to you everything that happens today. Therefore, I would like you not to argue, but to listen carefully and understand everything that I will tell you today. So what is the astral level? Life exists in three states: on the physical level, on the astral level, semi-material level, and on the spiritual level. This is the history of cosmic reality, and in cosmos, life also exists in three states. You see life on the material level. You know you live in a material body, you can feel it, observe, see, experience the material space. But in fact, here on this planet, you, while living in the material space, still live in the astral and mental spaces, and people who develop spiritually also live in the spiritual space of this planet. This is all concerns this planet. Each space has 7 levels, or layers. Each level of these spaces has its own vibrational component process. There are only 7 of them. For example, in the astral space, there are 7 levels or layers. In the mental space, there are also 7 levels. In the spiritual space of this planet, there are also 7 levels. 7 by 7 is 49 levels or layers. Each level has its own vibrational composition, its own informational structure, a grid that contains the accumulative system of one or another vibrational state. But I want to return now to the astral space. After all, our topic today is very serious: war in the astral space. And you need to understand and realize how all this is reflected in the physical space. You need to know. When you have the knowledge, you will have understanding. Each of you will be able to apply that knowledge and understanding to yourself, to your life, and thus not to fall into the trap of everything that is happening now, into the trap that is spread throughout the planet. My friends, I will return to the astral space. The astral space is divided into 7 levels. Each level, from the lowest to the highest, is inhabited by certain semi-material beings. What is astral space? Here you have your physical behavior. Your physical behavior is conditioned by your emotions, your thoughts, and your inner beliefs. It turns out that your emotions create the life of the astral space and are divided into different components at different levels. For example, the emotions of aggression, hatred, envy, greed have a heavy, compacted state of low vibrations, and they are stored in the first, second, and third dimensions of this planet. Where are these levels located? Near the core of the Earth, just above the surface of the Earth and on the surface of the planet. But due to the fact that the planet has passed into the fourth dimension of life, now humanity, with its emotionally constituent stage, the process of life, is moving into the fourth dimension. And in the fourth dimension of this planet, the astral state of beings is in an active process of living. We can say that the planet is moving to the astral stage of its evolutionary development, and the astral space in relation to human beings has become much closer. Each astral level, as I have already told you, has its own energy informational components. And it turns out that you, who are looking at me now, sitting on your chairs, live simultaneously in the physical plane and in the astral and in the mental and in the spiritual space if you develop spiritually. That is, you automatically interact with all of these 7 dimensions, but you interact in such a way that your internal states are written at one or another level of a certain space. For example, your aggression is written in the first or second dimension, your joy in the sixth or seventh level of the astral space of life. Astral life is the ethereal emotional component of this world. That is your emotions, your emotional radiation that emits a wave in ethereal states because there is ether inside you. And so your ethereal state creates ethereal beings of the ethereal astral space of this planet. And when you experience certain emotions and feelings, all this creates the visible world of the astral space and automatically and the mental space, because the astral and mental spaces are inseparable. Why? Because any of your emotions is conditioned and explicable by a certain thought. It necessarily interacts with thought, that is, you cannot have emotions without thinking about these emotions. Therefore, the mental and astral spaces are one. I want you to understand this, it is very important. When you realize and understand this, you will understand that your high vibrations, joy, love, harmony, calm, register information in the higher dimensions of the astral space, and you create the world there. If you are aggressive, hateful, and in low vibrations, in diseases, difficulties, and troubles, you are registering information in the astral space in low vibrations. I think you figured it out, that the astral space has 7 levels and 7 dimensions, from the first to the 7th. The first is the lowest, aggressive, destructive, you call this state a hellish abode. The highest is the state of love and joy of the astral space. It interacts with the mental and spiritual components of this planet and you as well. That is, you live at the physical level and you live at all these levels. You even have the states of these bodies right now. You have an astral body, and I teach you to even see it. You have a mental body, and you have 4 spiritual bodies. And the final one is your physical shell. So we figured out this issue. Now I want to explain to you what is the war at the astral level is, and in general, what it is about. For many epochs and centuries, this planet has been at war in physical space. Wars have become the norm. Many people, even given birth to children, understood that someone had to be given to the war, someone would cultivate the land, someone else would do something else, so there should be a lot of children. People are already used to wars. Although living in these wars, people have always dreamed of getting rid of them. And as the planet and technology moved to a higher level of development, a different state of life came. And one more reason for what is happening now is that the planet has moved into the fourth dimension of its spiritual development, spiritual state. And this suggests that humanity interacting with a certain structure of the astral space can suffer defeat from the astral space as well. And now, my friends, the most important thing is that a war has been unleashed on the astral space. How? Through the media, first of all. This is an information war. This is a war that grabs you and creates low vibrations within you. And these low emotional vibrations of yours are destroying you at the astral level. And you all live at the astral level. And defeats occur, and the destruction of humanity is no longer even at the physical level. In the physical space it is already indirectly, and I will explain and tell you today how destruction occurs on the physical level. On the astral level you are destroyed by information, intimidating, inventing something, keeping you in fear, in hatred, in aggression, in worries, in heavy thoughts. In general, such an emotional environment is created on the planet which the human psyche cannot withstand. And what is happening now on the planet is massive madness. This is expressed in panic attacks, it is expressed in scandals, in hatred, in aggression, in the failure of your business, in some kind of problems in personal or family relationships. In general, my friends, these are all methods that destroy a person on the astral level. And in fact, friends, when there is destruction on the physical level, for example, someone took and killed a person physically, or a person died, this is one death, since he retains his subtle bodies and he will continue his evolution further. He will return to life again, will be reborn again, reincarnate, will evolve further. But when there is destruction on the astral level, there is a threat of destruction of the human soul, and this is already a problem. This is already a state when a person can never again appear anywhere, when he ceases to exist at all. To kill a person on the astral level informationally means to kill him forever, do you understand? No one talks about it, people are afraid to talk about it, but now this state has reached a peak of destruction. And humanity fell into mass madness. People just go crazy. They do not know how to live on, they do not know why there are so many diseases, they don't know why everything is so bad on the planet, they do not know what will happen tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and beyond. And to watch all this is very painful, because I understand everything that is happening. And today I want to explain all this to you in this program. Yes, friends, for me all this is not easy, it's very difficult. And I understand this, I understand everything, and I understand the responsibility for everything that I am telling you now. But I also understand something else. By telling you and teaching you what I want to teach you and explaining what I want to explain, I can save you. You can remember the information that I will share with you today, and having remembered this information, you will look for a way out. You will seek knowledge, you will learn, you will develop, you will understand that only development and self-improvement can save you. This is the only method, the only way to become stronger, to become aware of everything that is happening, and to learn to control yourself in your life, and not to allow any more processes in your life when you are controlled, when you are destroyed, and destruction is taking place on the astral level. How does it appear? In the form of scandals, in the form of misunderstanding, in the form of aggression, envy, anger, jealousy, various fears. When a person is afraid, it doesn't matter what he is afraid of. The main thing is that he is afraid to go somewhere, get a job, get married, be afraid of tomorrow, yesterday, be afraid of himself, people, etc. It turns out that fear is on the astral level is the most powerful weapon of destruction. Precisely fear. And now immediately dive into yourself and ask yourself honestly, how many fears do you have now? What fears are being manipulated on your consciousness and on your mind? And my friends, if you see that there are already a lot of fears, and you honestly admit to yourself that you no longer control them, you should know that you are at gunpoint, you are in danger, your life is in danger. And what can be? The first is a lack of understanding of everything that is happening, a lack of awareness, which leads to depression, panic attacks, and insanity. Yes, friends, this is a very serious problem, a planetary problem. This is exactly this war, information war on the astral level. I understand that many of you can argue, but my friends, those who are arguing with me now, with what I am telling you, I would like you to observe yourself and your life. And if your life, as a result, is wonderful, healthy, and happy, you are right. If your life is worthless, destructive, aggressive, and anxious, then maybe you should figure it out, revise yourself, and to understand the illusion that affects your psyche and your inner state. My friends, there is an invisible war going on, an information war. This is the war that Roerich wrote about. Yes, he wrote that the time will come when the world will go crazy, when the blind will lead the blind, because no one will listen to the sighted. This time has already come. And he spoke and wrote in his books that indeed this will be the most powerful war that will hit the whole world, which will be aimed at the destruction of humanity, the mass destruction of people. And it is so, friends. And only those who are ready to develop spiritually, who are ready to think, who are ready to understand everything that happens, who are ready to act, will survive and withstand this war. Only those who are ready to act, not to sit and not wait, and not to sour, but to act. So, my friends, today's broadcast is exactly for those who are ready to act. And I will again return to the topic of the war on the astral level. My friends, you are not the only ones inhabiting this planet. There are other life forms that are also present on this planet, and many of them are just on the astral level of this planet. Where is it? Low vibration beings, and these are beings from other planets, a completely different form of life. They are in the lower dimensions of this planet. The more highly evolved beings who protect you, who win your souls and keep you living here in this space, are in the seventh dimension of the astral space. They also interact with the higher mental space and with the spiritual spaces of life. The spiritual space is located behind the stratosphere of this planet. My friends, you need to understand that these beings are the first to see and know everything that happens here. Why? Because before something happens on the physical level, it happens on the subtle level. For example, before getting sick, a person is first afraid of getting sick, and only then gets sick with some kind of disease. What do they do to make you always afraid of disease? They talk to you about diseases, they show you videos, they advertise medicines to you, they show you video broadcasts about these diseases, they show you difficulties, they tell you about the statistics of cases, etc. That is, they cause certain states of fear and thoughts about these diseases in you. When people who start thinking about it get sick, they have already got sick on the astral space, and they have already got sick on the mental level. And there remains a day or two or three, or a month or a year or 1.5 for this disease to manifest itself on the physical level. Then the person gets sick on the physical level. It was like that before. Now the planet in the quantum leap has moved to a new level, to a higher level of dimension, and time has quickened, as I once explained to you. In this regard, your thoughts, your emotional states began to be realized faster. That is, these your states, your thoughts, your fears form your reality much faster. And you just thought of something bad, and it quickly happened. Yes, my friends, these are also methods of the martial state of the astral space. It turns out the astral beings, I will return to them, are not your nature. They have a different nature. They have intelligence and have energy, only intelligence and energy, but do not have a soul. They, as creatures of low vibrations, want to feed only on low vibrations. To maintain their form of life, they need somewhere to get a low vibration state. This is an aggressive state of people. Since you are creators, you are constantly creating energy impulses and flows. And if you are in aggression, for example, or in any of the fears, no matter what you are afraid of, you radiate a low vibration. And these forms of life, intelligent beings, which live in the astral space, they are also fighting for you. They also destroy you. They also feed on your evil energy, low vibrations that you radiate as a creator. After all, you are creators by nature. It is your true nature. You are children of the higher mind. This is who you are. And you are endowed with the ability to create. And whatever you think, you create. Whatever you feel, you create. While you are going somewhere on the physical level, you are also creating. You create reality on 3 levels of reality. And having captured the astral space, these other forms of life, low vibrational, intelligent beings, but without souls, they feed on your low vibrations. To nourish your energy more, they provoke you into bad thoughts. They provoke you into fears. They have completely enslaved the entire planet, my friends. They created a system to govern humanity. It's true. It is an invisible force and an invisible world that rules humanity. But you are children of God, and you have supreme great power and nature. And on this planet there are highly developed spiritual beings, personalities, who protect you, who save you, who help you, who guide you. And if they see in a person the potential for spirituality, for development, for self-awareness, for self-determination, improvement, and awareness of everything that happens and of oneself, they do everything to save you. But if you resist salvation, and if you still want to feed with your low vibrations this destructive form of life on this planet that enslaved you, then they respect your free will, the right to choose, and they go aside and allow you to be who you are. Yes, friends, Indeed, they can help you only if you yourself ask for this help. If you do not ask, no one will interfere, no one will impose anything on you, it will be your choice. They always take into account and respect any of your choices, even if they are destructive. And I have not said this yet. I mentioned a little that all processes occur initially on the mental and astral levels of life. That is, the events that will occur and will be created and experienced by you on the physical level, they initially occur in the subtle spaces, the astral and mental. And since these low vibrational essences, and highly developed too, live on the astral, mental, and highly developed ones also on the spiritual level, they initially, in advance, know what will happen here. They know in advance what can happen, both with the person and with the country, what event, what kind of catastrophe, etc. Therefore, in all ages and centuries, highly developed beings have always tried to protect, always tried to warn, either through a dream or through some event or in some other way. They try to help a person and take him away from destruction. My friends, the astral space and the mental space are more primary than your physical space of life. Therefore, everything that happens on the physical level, on the astral and mental levels, has already happened before. But in fact, since you interact every minute, every second with these levels of life, you live on the physical and on the astral and mental levels at the same time, and you even have subtle shells, subtle bodies, that both live and interact with these subtle spaces. And in order to change the situation on the physical level, so that the situation in the physical space happens, realizing mentally, emotionally, interacting with the higher levels of evolution and the astral level of life, you can change the situation there, and then the situation will change here in the physical space. This is the first tip and recommendation for you. If, on the contrary, when something happened, you start to get very upset about it, get very worried, you further intensify this situation. You don't solve it. It gets even worse on the astral and mental level, because your emotions and your thoughts create reality, as I told you already. And thus, events take place on the astral and mental levels, which will then take place on the physical level. My friends, this is a problem, a very serious problem on our planet, not empty words. This is reality. This is how reality works. And you better not argue with me. You better figure it out in everything. You better study this whole topic. You better understand every word of mine. And you will become strong, sturdy, fearless, and stable. And in this case, the system, the matrix, the energy-destructive system of this planet will not be able to influence or impact you. And that way you can save yourself. And also, friends, I want to tell you that there are mechanisms, sacred mechanisms that I teach my students. Applying these sacred mechanisms, you also direct them to your salvation, your protection, self-development, aspiration, and self-improvement. These are powerful mechanisms that I share only with those students whom I call the chosen ones. The chosen ones are those who have chosen the path of development and self-improvement. We can call them special, or we can simply call them conscious people, people who want to figure everything out, people who do not expect to be controlled and told where to go and what to be afraid of, and which pills to buy, which not to buy, etc. These are people who want to be free. They want to be healthy, developed, and happy. I teach such people. I help such people. I teach them very strong mechanisms that protect them in life at a certain stage. And then the time comes when they really become free, happy, and joyful people. And this is an indicator, friends, an indicator of their correct development and ascent. And I am helped in this by highly developed beings who are fighting for your souls. What does it mean? There is a war on the astral level for your souls. Your soul also has astral, mental, and spiritual components. And if your soul is killed, destroyed on the astral level, it loses its capabilities and properties. Why? It is in danger, and then it can already be switched to serve these dark forces. And indeed, many people are simply becoming energy batteries that are simply being fed by the system that rules here on the earth. Why has this destructive system become so active now, if it has always been on the planet? But it was at war with you on the physical plane. There was a war in one place of the planet, then in another. There were wars all the time. The thing is, my friends, that this system is intelligent, and it understands that by moving into the quantum transition, humanity has already begun to receive higher spiritual vibrations. It is these high cosmic vibrations penetrating into your brain neurons like waves and light emission programs activate your brain and begin to develop you spiritually and open up your capabilities and abilities. The system understands that you can take off in 10, 20, even 50 years, but take off at the level of spiritual development and stop feeding the system, stop feeding the destructive beings of this planet. They understand that, but they don't tell you about it. On the contrary, they try to distort this information in every way so that you don't believe in it in any case. Otherwise, you will develop, become strong, conscious, and it will be impossible to influence or impact you. Such is the truth, friends. And indeed, these low vibrational beings, let's call them that, they are called differently on the planet. These beings understand that their life and their age on this planet may end very soon. So they are furious, out of their last strength, trying to use those who can still be used. Although they understand, their age is ending on this planet, and very soon, no matter how hard it is for you in the nearest years of your life, very soon the planet will move to a new level of spiritual development and awareness. And more people will be asking themselves the question, who am I? What are my possibilities? How can I live a happy life? How can I extend the years of my life? What can I do for myself and for humanity? And by becoming like this, humanity will evolve. Yes, you will explore space, but already you will explore space not as conquerors and consumers, but as friends who will lend a helping hand, as friends who will explore new worlds, and this will give even more development and self-improvement. Not as invaders who want only to enslave, only to destroy, only to take over their planet and others. My friends, no one will allow this. No one will allow this, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard the scientists of the world, the developers of different technologies, satellites and other machines try. No one will let them go anywhere, not to Mars, not to Venus, not to Ganymede. They won't let them go anywhere. These planets and all the planets of the solar system are protected by highly evolved beings. Yes, friends. And of course, our planet will pass these challenges. This war will end. And I wish that in this war, the victors, you who live in this planet, the people who own this planet, the people who are the masters of this planet, I wish that there were more of you who are saved. And I will do everything for your souls to be saved. I know there are already a lot of questions, as always. I spoke to you today very seriously. And friends, we have to talk about these things only seriously, and seriously try to figure it all out. I know there are questions, ask questions on the subject. So the first question and the floor goes to Sergey Arkadyevich. Good evening. The first question from Sochi. In the program about the war between the dark and light forces, I would like to hear the answer to the following question. Where did this dark force come from in the beginning? Who nurtured it? Is it probably no longer possible to get rid of it? It is possible to get rid of it. Where does the dark power come from? Well, you are creators. And since your life form originally evolved from such a primitive state, an animal state, you can observe your animals. Do they have fear? They do. Do they have greed? Yes. Do they have envy? Yes. So a man was created biologically from an animal state, but in that animal state, the Creator put the highest form of life, the soul. The soul is the state of the Creator Himself. It is into the inferior, primitive, biological creature that the higher reality of the cosmos was placed. The Creator shared Himself, giving you a part of Himself, a part of His soul, thus creating this form of life, a human being. That is why it is always good and evil from the beginning. And how can good manifest itself if you don't know what evil is? But highly evolved life forms, spiritually evolved, that's what you call them, seraphim, archangels, other highly evolved beings, they know what evil is too. They see the methods of defeat and the reality of defeat by evil. They understand. They are so evolved that they don't have to go through evil on their own to choose goodness. But such life forms as life on this planet, your life form, you have both good and evil inherent in you. You have to choose, make choices, and in that choice you grow. Yes, you are created in such a primitive state, and for 500,000 years humanity evolved on its own as an animal state of life. And only after 500,000 years this planet began to develop spiritually, socially, and energetically. That is, your whole life was filled with certain knowledge. And before that, the man was with the mind of an animal. So this evil, what you consider evil, what you consider disadvantageous, is what the Creator is not. It is what gives the ability to become manifest. And through this low vibration, low energy, indeed the Creator can be manifested. Yes, everything is created only by the Creator, plus and minus, good and evil. But on a planet like this, it's clearly expressed and manifested. And besides your low vibrational life form, there are other different forms of life. There are life forms where only the mind is present. There are life forms that undergo very high temperatures. There are life forms that are created semi-material. There are life forms that are only astral. There are those that are only spiritual. There are life forms that are material, and in a material, a physical body, they will attain self-improvement. For example, you are changing your bodies. By the way, you two were originally created as a life form that was to come to paradise in a material state, but because of the Lucifer rebellion, people have lost this ability. And Lucifer is a more highly evolved being who was originally loyal and faithful to the divine plan of evolution of the local system, and then became a traitor and went after the energies of evil. You know, my friends, it is very inherent in beings who rise up a step higher. They can, shall we say, be possessed by pride, arrogance, and vanity. Yes, friends, it happens so. Sometimes a person grows and reaches and acquires a certain level of spiritual development, and then, in an instant, the entities, the matrix, the system is so twisted because it's clever, and so it treats man on the astral level that, losing its vigilance, he falls into its net. And a person has vanity, pride, arrogance, etc. And it seems that he works in the practices and he tells the good, and the good seems to teach, but his original goals are completely different. That's what happened with Lucifer. He seemed to want good things. He wanted to develop his local system of planets. He created his plan, he created his laws, his methods, he began to implement them. He was 100% sure that he was doing well and that the local system would come to self-development and self-improvement in a very short time. And he would be the Lord, the master of the local system, would be the governor. That's what he was thinking. He wasn't thinking of killing you, no. He thought to implement his methods, but they were wrong. And he didn't realize that they were wrong. There are also people on earth who beat themselves in the chest. I am right, I know everything, I do everything correctly, but they are deluded. There is a shroud, an egoistic program, a veil on their consciousness, and the person does not see it, and it's not easy to see it. And much is needed, my friends. One needs to be faithful and devoted to the laws of the cosmos. That's what is needed. You must always remember them, and you must always adhere to the laws of the cosmos. When you have done this in your life, you will follow the right path of evolutionary development. There are so many networks scattered here by this system. Is it possible to defeat it? It's possible, my friends. It is possible. Good triumphs over evil. Remember this for all eternity. And evil is self-destructive. Evil destroys, and the process of destruction destroys evil itself. Destruction brings destruction. Evil destroys itself. That's it, friends. Next question. I will try to compose the next question out of many others, which are based on the understanding that, oh, how complicated everything is, how can we sort it out? And people are very scared, and there is even a sense of hopelessness, because every day they meet with manifestations of this evil, with manifestations of injustice, and with manifestations of, let us say, the violent introduction of some laws that are even contrary to ordinary morality. The question is, how can we resist and endure? My friends, I did not tell you all this so that you would be afraid. I want you to understand it and look for methods to save yourselves, not to fall into this trap. What methods? I'll give you some advice and recommendations right away. The first advice and recommendation: always be positive. Track your inner state truthfully. Feel fear in yourself that you are afraid of something to say, something to do, afraid to think, afraid of tomorrow, etc. different fears. When you have caught yourself in fear, admit honestly, I'm afraid of something. Stop. What am I afraid of? Who is forcing this fear on me? Who is making me afraid? The system. So I understand it. The system makes me afraid. But why should I be afraid? I am a creator. I am a creator. I am part of the higher mind. I am part of the higher mind. I am a child of the higher mind. I can do anything because I am a child of the one who created the cosmos. What can threaten me here? What form of life can threaten me if I am the creator of my own life? On the contrary, I am about to learn, roll up my sleeves, and learn to control myself and my life. After all, my life is only in my hands. And the Creator, in creating me, said, "Become perfect as I am perfect." He even gave me that opportunity. So what should I do? I need to work on myself, on my development. I need to work on the topic that Natalia Rodina voiced today. Not to be afraid, but to figure it out so that I can stop being afraid. That's what I need. It's the system, it's the matrix that makes me afraid. But I will not serve it. I am not the system, I am not the matrix, I am not the ego. I am a child of God, a child of the Creator, a child of the higher mind. I am not a slave. You are called slaves to the system, to the matrix. Yes, you are slaves to it. But to the Creator, you are children, His children. And when you identify with the Creator's child, there are no more fears. Immediately an opportunity opens up within you. You get a guardian angel. You receive a guardian angel from the cosmic reality, from the higher seventh level of this planet, who will protect you, who will help you, who will guide you in all your earthly affairs and directions. But when you follow the way of evolution and development, you will have to work. You will have to work on yourself. You will have to open your nature. It turns out, friends, that when you discover your nature, and the quantum transition assists you in this, it will be impossible to control you and use you the way it is done now. That is, the process of development and becoming, of self-knowledge, will give you protection, and nobody will be able to influence or affect you. Always be cheerful, always be joyful. Read, study, work on yourself, think and dream only about good things. Don't watch the news, don't watch commercials. There is always the 25th frame and something else. These are also methods of warfare on the astral level. Do everything to beautify your life. Do you see that the masses of people have entered into a state of talking only about bad things? At the table, they talk only about bad things, only about politicians, about politics, about some quarrels. If you hear that, go away. Tell yourself, no, I won't think like that now. I won't take part in these conversations. I'm doing fine. There is a will of the one who created it all. And my life too is subject of His will toward me, toward the world, and toward all who live is only creation and prosperity. The Creator, the Supreme Intelligence, wants only one thing: happiness, evolution, development, becoming, revealing your possibilities. The Creator wants you to become like Him. Can you imagine what it means to become like the Creator Himself? To have the same opportunities as Him. Do you have any idea at all? And being a creator, could you be threatened with anything? Nothing, friends. Nothing can threaten you. You will be perfect. You will understand everything. You will realize everything by expanding your consciousness. And this is possible only when you develop, when you learn. Because look, a lot of people don't want to learn. They do not want to learn something new. Simply don't want. Because to know means to take responsibility for your life. It means to do something in your life. And not everybody wants to do. A lot of people want to be slaves. Many want to be told what to do. They will go and do it. These are the servants of the matrix, the servants of the system. They are not capable of thinking anymore. They don't want to. Laziness won't let them. And the matrix, having seized them by this hook of laziness, controls such people very easily. So, do not be like that. Why should you be afraid? On the contrary, stop being afraid. The life form that is fighting on the astral level for your souls is far beneath you. Yes, it is also a form of life, but it has no soul, it has no state of eternity. And in general, it is destructive, and destruction destroys itself. Yes, of course, not now. And having left this planet, these destroyers will enslave other low vibrational planets on the edge of universe, on the edge of the local system. Yes, they will do so, but in the end, my friends, they will still destroy themselves. Because they are low vibrations, low forms, and the cosmos in the process of development, the whole cosmos, all the planets, eventually spiritualize and move to a higher level of creation, development and high vibrations, spiritualization. And this low form of life will have no place here. My friends, if you all understood what I told you right now and stopped feeding this system, it would leave this planet in an instant. Why? And what would it do here if you don't emit aggression and evil? What would it have to feed on? It would have nothing to feed on, and it would leave this planet on its own and go to enslave worlds somewhere where life is just beginning, where low vibrations may still be present. But eventually that planet too will rise and reach in new vibrations. Spiritually advanced beings will help it. And evil will destroy itself. It has no condition of life. It is not life. Understand, life, eternity is good, love, creation. Evil, it does not exist. But it lives only as a program that helps the Creator, the higher mind, to manifest. It is very difficult for me to explain it to you, and generally for cosmic reality there is no such conception as evil. There is a concept of high and low vibration, and low vibration is necessary for high vibration to be manifested. That's the cosmic understanding and conception. The cosmic mind, friends, is so perfect, so great, that it is very difficult for the undeveloped human mind to understand the higher, very difficult. So at this level, to be free, you have to develop, to learn. But look at the stores now, only some beer houses. That is, people need to be drunk and unreasonable, unconscious, unaware. Then it's very easy to control them. But when you become reasonable, when you become spiritual, you will stop fighting. You will have no enemies. For you, every person will be a friend. You will see your brother in everybody. You will see yourself, because there is a part of you in him. You will not divide this life. You will live a creative, all-encompassing life. And you will see only good in everything, and you will do only good things. Then the system will not be able to control you, and there will be no need for any weapons on the planet, no means of mass destruction. There will be no one to fight. When the planet becomes one family, who will you fight with? If all are family, close to each other and help each other, with whom shall we fight and why? It is better to be happy, healthy, and rich than poor and sick, isn't it? Isn't it, friends? That's what you say. So now you need to strive for self-development, self-improvement. And by improving yourself, by your example in life, show other people. And your life immediately changes for the better. You often argue, prove something to someone, but look at your life. Ask yourself the question, am I happy? What am I proving? Who am I proving? Who am I arguing with and why? Your life is proof that you are right or wrong. If you are right, you are happy, you are healthy, you are harmonious, you are living well, and your family is living well, and you are doing great. Then you are right. If you don't have this all, learn, study, don't argue. Don't do this. When you argue, you are fighting against yourself. You are destroying yourself. For when you argue, you get even more wrong. But when you say to yourself, stop, I'll figure it all out, I'll find the source of truth, I'll figure it out, I'll learn, I'll do it. I'm a free person because I am a child of the higher mind. That's the intention, that's the inner state. You are winners. If you argue and don't even know what you are arguing about, you are hostages of the system. The system is taking advantage of you. So you know, friends, this is the truth. I understand that the system will do anything to get thoughts into your heads, programs that do not allow you to realize this phrase of mine. Many people argue, many are just frothing at the mouth, proving. You look at how many spiritual directions there are, it would seem, for the development of people. And instead of uniting, they fight with each other. They are ready to destroy each other. Is that a spiritual development? Is that knowledge out there? There is no knowledge there, my friends. The spiritual component is unity. When you unite, when you support each other, when you help, when you complement each other. For example, these people know this truth, they will share it with the others, with those who know something else, and those others will share that they know with the first people who know their knowledge. And in such unity, they could complete themselves, but they don't complete. They put on selfish blankets and walk around in those selfish crowns instead of uniting and developing the world. Even here, it would seem, in the spiritual development, in the spiritual component of the development of the planet, even here there is evil and separation. But we need to unite, friends, not divide. When you are together, you are power. When you are apart, you are easily manipulated, controlled, intimidated, frightened, etc. You don't have to be afraid of everything that's going on, but you have to know everything. And what do you mean, oh, I'm afraid, now what should I do? Who says that? Is it you speaking or is it the matrix, the ego in you speaking? It is the ego speaking, it is the ego that makes you afraid. But don't be afraid. On the contrary, believe in the fact that there is salvation. And if you wish to be saved, you will be saved. If you don't, well, then you won't. All you have to do is wish. Wish to be stable, strong, steady, developed, conscious, happy, rich, prosperous people on this planet. That's what you should wish for, and everything will be given to you. I know that. If I say it, then I know it. That's the truth, friends. Knock and they will open. Seek and you will find. You were told a long time ago. Everything will be alright, friends. You just want to be happy. And then helpers will be found. Situations will be laid out for you. You'll find the right books, the right people, the right directions, and you will be saved. And knowledge will be given to you. And even if you see and hear me now, it's already help and salvation. Yes, that's right, friends. Next question. Next question, Tatiana from Kiev asks, Natalia Vladimirovna, on what does the speed of the realization of events on the physical level depend after those that have already occurred on the mental and the astral levels? It depends on how seriously you believe in it. If you believe that everything is gone, everything will be bad, as I was asked similar questions here just now. Then you send out a strong impulse, and it comes to life very quickly in the physical space. But when you think positively, nothing is lost, God will give you a day, He will give you food, solutions will be given, the right books, ways and methods will be given. If you have already heard this information today, it's already a help, and you already know what you have to do to be happy, joyful, cheerful. You will ask, how can I be happy if I have a lot of problems? A lot of problems were yesterday or a minute ago, but right now there are no problems. Right now there is only your attitude to everything that's going on. And if you change your attitude to problems in the moment of now, you change them on the subtle level. You send a strong impulse, and the situation immediately changes. Yes, you've all had this experience. Each of you has had this experience and more than once. Next question. The next question is a disturbing one. Ludmila from the city of Kirov asks, Natalia Vladimirovna, if a person does not have love from childhood, aggression arises from half a turn, what should I do? You know, Ludочка, you have it. You do. Ask yourself a question. Do you feel love from me? You are watching my program now, you are listening, you see me, you see how I try for you. You see how I try with all my soul, with all the vibrations of my thin bodies, to help you, to save you. Do you love me for that? I think yes. And you have this love not only for me, but for everyone. And what you call aggression, anger, these are entities, these are ego programs, this is the matrix. Realize now, right now, that it's not your aggression, it's not you in an aggressive state. It is imposed upon you from the outside, but it's not yours. You are a child of the higher mind, a child of the Creator, a child of the eternal state of life. This is what you are. You are love itself. And if you are watching this program now, it means you have an ocean of love. I know that. You just unfold it. Don't be afraid. There is no fear. There is only love. Everything is created by love. The whole cosmos is created by love. Believe in love. Don't be ashamed of it. After all, notice how people have begun to live now. They are afraid to show love. But ask everyone, look into everyone's eyes. Look into your own eyes now. You all want love so much. You want this love so much. Many of you come to my courses only to drink love from my soul. Yes, friends, you really want love. Love is what fills you. It is what expands you. It is what exalts you. It is what reveals your nature in you, because your nature is love. So you have love, Ludmila. I know it, I feel it. And my soul feels your state right now. You are a beautiful person, but you are very hard right now, and you even want to get rid of that. You want to get rid of this aggressiveness. That's why we have thousands of questions in our chat room right now. Thousands. But we did read yours. Can you imagine what good fortune this is? What good fortune this is for you? The higher powers have heard you. They give you a helping hand. And in this live broadcast, out of thousands of questions, we read yours. Isn't that a miracle? It is a miracle. It is a miracle, my good ones. I am sending you all my love. I am love. You are love. The world is love. The Creator is love. Everything is created by love. And let us live in these high divine vibrations. And what can threaten us when we are love? Who will get you? Who can do anything bad to you when you are love? This is the highest vibration. Those entities out there are messing with their mud. What can they do to you? Love each other. Stop feuding, stop fighting. Do they want to take half a meter of your land? Give them a meter, give them twice as much. If they want to take something from you, give it to them. You do not need it if it bothers you. Then more will come to you. No, don't think I'm taking anything from you. No, my good ones. I understand what you are afraid of again. You are afraid that someone is going to take something away from you. You know, friends, fear itself is a loss. It's an attachment. It's a loss. Use everything, earn everything, work, make your way, create your life. Because that's what life is all about. But never be attached to anything. Value only life itself. It's all you have that's precious, life itself. That is true. It is also true. Next question. Next question. Olga from Ulyanovsk asks, please tell me, is the mental space and the quantum field the same thing, or is there a difference? And when meditating upon reaching nirvana, where does a person's consciousness go? On what level? Regarding the mental space and the quantum state, everything is made up of quantum particles. All spaces consist of different vibrations of quantum particles. That is the answer to the first question. Regarding the second question, my friends, nirvana is a state of nothingness. It is Eastern teaching that has been introduced to lead people away from their state of development, the triune state of development. Your task is not to achieve nirvana, no, though it's possible to do in that way too, but then you become limited. And when you reach nirvana, you again have to go to reincarnation, reborn again, to reach the triune state. But you can incarnate several times and reach nirvana several times by incarnating here, and then, in that case, you, without revealing one aspect in yourself, go along the path of evolution and reveal in yourself not the triune nature, but the dual nature. You then develop only your mind and body, but you don't reveal the divine state. And in cosmic reality, you will evolve, but always a step lower. Although you, your life form, have been given the ability to evolve in the triune state, to develop the three components, body, mind and spirit, your soul. When you develop two aspects and do not develop the third one, you limit yourself. When you develop your three aspects, you discover your true nature of God, the Creator. So there was a lot of knowledge on earth, and the Eastern mystics talk a lot about it. Where this is coming from? From those alien beings who came to this planet 330,000 years ago, and after a certain period of time led humanity along the wrong, false path of development and improvement. This is, shall we say, echo of Lucifer's rebellion. It seems to teach good things, but there is no movement, no growth. You reached nirvana, and then what? What's next? And your task is to become as perfect as God, the Creator Himself. And the local systems of planets and galaxies and perfect worlds are already prepared for your next perfect stages of evolution. Highly evolved beings have been born and exist and are evolving with you, who will help you in the future to reach this revealed triune state. who will help and assist you to return to your home, to the paradise above, in a conscious state, to return as the Creator's children, to return as the perfect creators, to where your souls came from. You have been deliberately misled on this planet. Well, it's not exactly a delusion either. Yes, there are life forms in the cosmos that develop only two aspects of themselves. And so, they once came to this planet and enslaved this planet and led it down the wrong path of development. And of course, they developed two aspects in human beings because they themselves only had two of those components. But you are higher than them. You are higher in nature, in your potential. You are children of the Creator, even though you were created from such primitive animal biological material. Yes, but there is a higher idea in you. Why the need for such a life form? Your life form is very valuable. When you pass the life here, leave this planet, and go on in your evolutionary process, you will have a quality of evolutionary experience. You will remember and know what evil is, and how not easy, having this evil and enslavement of the planet, how not easy to ascend, how difficult it is to ascend spiritually, how difficult it is. It is indeed not easy. But you who have succeeded will have this experience, and you will help other life forms. You will tell them how to do it from your own experience. And there is a lot of knowledge, but no matter how much you receive this knowledge, until you experience it, it will remain just information. The value is knowledge plus experience. This is the value of your life. Do your best to develop the triune state: body, mind, and spirit, soul, your energy. That's it. Next question. Anna from Samara asks, Natalia Vladimirovna, why do the entities exterminate people? Because they know that they live off of their energy. If there are no people, there will be no entities. Well, Anichka, what does it mean they exterminate? They don't exterminate people. In just that your species has its reserves. It means the physical body has its limits. And if your physical body stays in low vibrations for a long time, it degenerates and you die. They remove your energy, encapsulate it, and give you the next biological incarnation. And again, a person is born and again also feeds this matrix. Watch the movie The Matrix. There is truth in it. Yes, there is a lot of made up and fiction, a lot that is not true and truthful, but the essence of this movie is true. It is. That is, the next time a person is given a biological body, he develops again. Having developed to a certain level, he again feels low vibrations, again feeding the system, the matrix. And so, from age to age, from year to year. But my friends, the system now realizes that the high vibrations of the quantum transition have entered the planet. A higher frequency wave has come in that will activate your brain and assist in your development. And the matrix realizes that it may soon lose its breeding ground, you. And you, through these higher vibrations, will evolve to become strong, sturdy, and aware. The system understands that, but people don't. People don't, unfortunately. That's why I have told you all this today, so that you realize the whole process, what is actually happening. And everything else on the physical level, GMO foods, medications that poison rather than heal, aggression, anger, fears, envy, greed, wars, and other low vibrational things are all methods. These are means to achieve the goals for the matrix. It needs low vibrations. It does not matter what you are afraid of as long as you are afraid. The low vibration is what they want. But a different time has come. That's why the war is so fierce now. Yes, my friends, think back to a time 30, 40 or 50 years ago. Think back to yourselves, any of you who are older. There was no such thing. Yes, life was always difficult, but there was no such immoral state. There was an idea. And now look, the most important thing, the idea, has been destroyed. The idea. And I want to ignite you with an idea. And your idea is ascent and self-development and self-improvement. It is the goal of attaining eternal life. This is your highest idea. This is the idea that Jesus Christ left you. He also left you this idea: self-development, self-improvement, life on more developed planets, in more developed states. He taught you this. And when you study the story of Jesus' death, you will see who killed him, the churchmen of that time. They insisted on his death. Now, well, anyway, my friends, you see for yourselves. I want you to understand, you should not be afraid in any case. You are still stronger. You are stronger, you are eternal, and they are not. They depend on you. If you stop feeding them, they will leave this planet altogether, and they know it. But people don't understand that, unfortunately. There must come to humanity an understanding, an awareness of all that is happening. In fact, look, I notice from the experience of my students how the system works through the relatives of my students. For example, a person begins to develop, the system sees on the subtle level that they are losing in nutrition, and the system understands that a person will grow spiritually, that he or she will become energetically mature, will become strong, conscious, and this person won't feed the system anymore, won't feed the matrix. What do? They influence the mind, the psycho-emotional state of the relatives of my students. And it's as if they are off the chain. They say some crazy things and nonsense. Yes, my friends, they become like crazy. But the system works through them, the matrix. The ego makes people think and feel and attack. But my students are tough nuts, real tough, and they endure. And in the future, I teach my students to help even their relatives, to help even their loved ones who once attacked them. And then those people come to realize, they realize that they are hostages. How do they come to understanding? By looking at my students, they see a change for the better. And who does not want better? You all want the best. You subconsciously want happiness, you subconsciously want goodness, health, success, prosperity. You all want that. And when you see that your relative, a loved one, who has begun to develop, to learn, becomes like that, you also want to be like that. And people come to us and learn further, and life situations change, families change, relationships are restored, and they live happily ever after. Yes, my friends, often people learn with us in families, but first comes someone who is the strongest, the most courageous, the strongest, the most stable, someone who is willing to work and fix the situation in life. The next question. I have a lot of questions here, and I'm trying to put them together to answer them somehow. Let's get a little bit out of the high matters, because there are a lot of questions from the category of how to keep up. And then I see questions about a lamp. It's not a lamp, friends. It's really a candle. I lit it before the broadcast. So, Luba from Germany asks, Natalia, if there is a lot of aggression coming from the neighbors, it's too strong. This aggression no longer knows how to suck the energy out of me. I try to accept and love them, but the more I try, the more aggressive my neighbors become. What to do in this situation? Should I move away, change my apartment? I'm looking forward to your advice. Just love them. You try, but you don't love them yet. They attack you, but you just accept them. Understand, it's not them doing it. It's the system through their bodies that's doing it. But the system is fighting you. They are affecting you. And you see, you even succumb to this influence. And you even think about changing your apartment. Why? Why change something? Accept the situation and look these people in the eyes. Step over your ego, go up to them, look them in the eyes and say, I'm sorry if I offended you. I love you. What can I do for you? Tell me, please. I want to live peacefully. I don't want this aggression. I don't want us to be enemies. We have nothing to divide on this planet. Let's live together as friends. What can I do for you? If you can do it, do it. If you can't, just wish for it and do it mentally, in your mind. Don't react to their behavior. They are just the hands of the matrix, the hands of the system. They are not aware of what they are doing. They are asleep. They are in a dream. They are not yet awake. They are dreaming and they are not awake yet. When you are dreaming, you don't realize it's a dream. So for your neighbors, life itself is a dream. And they can't tell what is a dream and what is reality. They do not understand. They are not developed. You should pity them already. They are prisoners of the system. They are already perishing. They are perishing. And they don't realize it either. And maybe they don't realize it anymore. Send them light and love. Imagine spheres of light above their heads, and from your heart into their heart, send a beam of light, love, understanding, and awareness, and let them be forgiven. That's how you do it. And you will feel better at once, and it will become easier for them on a subtle level at once, and then on the physical level within 5-6 minutes. My friends, any scandal, any aggression, any conflict must be put out only with kindness and acceptance. That is the only thing. You sometimes feel like you need to teach someone a lesson. I have an acquaintance who is also watching this program right now, and when he is driving a car, he always wants to yell to teach someone a lesson so that the next time he won't do the same thing. No, friends, you can talk when you can be heard. Conversely, when you want to make a point, do as Jesus did. What did he do? He tapped an aggressive man on the shoulder, looked him in the eyes, and said, "Good man, let me address you." A person of such a high character, seeing the aggressiveness, act that way. And he was hurt because the first thing that popped into people's heads was, how I am so aggressive now, swearing, hitting, fighting, and they called me a good person. Why was I called that? What does it mean? I want to find out. And the man wakes up, and he begins to think, to ponder why this is so. I must be a good person. And if I am a good man, why do I beat my wife? Why do I scandalize? Why do I do this? After all, I am a good person. But when you respond to aggression with more aggression, you destroy yourself, create a destructive situation which will definitely incarnate on the physical level and also feed the essences of the unconscious, unaware person, servant of the system, an aggressive egoist. Who is easy from this? Who benefits from it? What good is there in it? There is no good. Respond only with good to any aggression, to any anger. Here you wanted a method of defense. Here it is, friends. This is the strongest method of defense. Respond with good to any evil. And then there will be no conflict. You will not feed the matrix. You will not feed the ego entities. They don't want your good. They want your evil. So just don't respond with evil. find the strength to restrain yourself, to realize what's really going on. I told you so seriously about it today. Yes, my friends, remember this. You sometimes forget what I teach you, but remember this. Learn everything I teach you by heart. It's so important to you. Next question. 2 more questions and then we'll probably finish the broadcast. Of course, there are many more questions, but they keep repeating. Apparently, people did not watch the beginning of the program. The first question is simpler. Natalia, I bought the first volume of your book. Do you plan to publish a sequel? And will it be only the second book, or will there be more? When should we expect it? Everything is at the Creator's will. These books will be very important not now. Right now, when humanity is in a frenzy, not everyone can and will understand these books. But 20, 30, 100 years from now, it will be the most valuable information. And then people will understand everything written there. And I will tell you that I am still working on the next book. And I think the Creator wants there to be a lot of books, because if the electricity goes out and there is no internet and there is no information, but the books will stay. That's right, friends. I will keep working. And the last question, Жанна from St. Petersburg asks, tell me please, what awaits our universe when all the planets will be spiritual? If you only knew, if you could look into the energy information field of the universe now, you would see it. You would see the breath of new life. There are no wars. Every planet has reached the age of light and life. And all planets, all alien intelligence, all beings of all planets, having become more evolved, have united into one family. And they evolve further, closer to more highly evolved planets and systems, where they acquire even more goodness, joy and understanding and knowledge. Then, as they evolve, life forms return to where they once came from, to where they were once created. And the cosmos and the planets on which they began their process of development will dissipate into nothingness from which everything is now created. And there will come a certain understanding of cosmic life, when everything will return to where it all came from, in a perfect state of eternal life. This is a beautiful time. The entire cosmos, all highly evolved beings, are working toward this goal. And I am also working toward this very goal, my friends. And my first task is to develop our planet, to develop you, to teach you, to tell you, to give you an example, to teach you highly evolved power mechanisms, to reveal your superpowers, super abilities, to give you a new breath of life, and to save you. And I will work as long as I am assigned here on this planet, with great love and joy. Sometimes people ask me, what is your ultimate goal? Is there some kind of end goal? Why do you do it? It's a very serious job and endure all this and to give so much energy, so much work. Is there some kind of goal? And why do you actually do it? Shall I tell you why? Spiritually developed state, when you reach a spiritually developed state, the capacity and possibility of all-encompassing love will unfold within you. That's probably the right word. It's the first time I've ever said it. It is the state where you love everything for no reason. That is, for no reason at all. You love a bug, a human, a flower. You love everything around you. That is, the highest state, feeling, pours out of you. And when you have it, such beings, such people, and people can become like that as well, a breadth of consciousness and understanding of life is revealed in them, and they see life not in a narrow range as ordinary people do. They see life through the eyes of the Creator, through the eyes of God, when everything around you is created by you, and you love it all, and all you want for all that you have created is to develop and improve these forms of life and these states. Moreover, such ability is revealed in such beings, and people too can become such. I emphasize this again. An opportunity when you feel the life in yourself, even a life of small bug, even an ant, everything that surrounds you. You feel it. You will ask, can you feel even love and even hate? Yes, my friends. When you are hurting, when you are struggling, when you are in trouble, when you are sick, when you are afraid, do you know how I feel? I can't enjoy the state that is already present in me, my love. I have so much of love. There is not so much water in the ocean as I have love. It is the ocean of the cosmos. My love is the cosmic ocean. And when you see that someone who also possesses the same love could also be like you, but now cannot for some particular reasons, and you know that you can give that person everything and help them reach your state of love, then how can you remain indifferent? It's impossible. It's just impossible when you can do it. When you know how, you can't be aloof, you can't be indifferent. You are ready to give your life. You are not afraid of anything. You are even on the air today talking about things that everybody else is afraid to talk about. But I say, that's how I want to save you. You see, friends, this can only be felt and experienced. It is probably impossible for an ordinary person to comprehend it mentally. It is a state that is above you. That is God, the Creator, that is love. So if you have it, it overwhelms you. And you want only to give, and to give it. But those people who write us some dirt, some nastiness, you feel sorry for those people. You understand that they are trapped. They feel bad, they are having a hard time, they feel pain. If they were well, they would not write such things, they would not say such things, they would not even think such things. And you want to help these people even more, and you send them love even more, and ask the Creator to wake them up, to make them understand and realize their delusion. Yes, my friends, this is what love is. Each and every one of you has it, each and every one of you. And I know that you, all of you watching me now, love me. I know how much my students love me. My friends, on this difficult planet, in these difficult circumstances of life, I am wallowing in your love. I live and wallow in your love. It is so beautiful, it is so wonderful, it's so perfect. Yes. And I'm not doing my job to wallow in your love. What I have is enough for me. But when my love combines with your love, it is a state that cannot be described in words. It is life. This state is life. At the end of our broadcast, I wish you this state of life. May your souls are spiritualized, may your consciousness expand, may your will be strengthened, and may your faith and awareness be faithful. May life shine upon you in perfection. Sergei Arkadovich raises his hand like in the first grade. Yes, there was just an interesting comment in the chat. What about the fear of the Lord that the Bible teaches? And I was going to say that there is a great movie called The Shack, and there the main character, and the Jesus, played by another actor, says to the main character, "We did not want to have slaves, we wanted to have friends." Yes, my dears, the Creator does not want slaves, and He does not want you to be afraid of the Creator, not afraid of the one who created you. He wants friends, He wants like-minded people, He wants people like Himself, because He created you. And if someone tells you that you should be afraid of the one who created you, don't believe it, at least now. Just don't believe those people. Know that they are wrong. They are under the influence of the Matrix, and they don't even realize it. Unfortunately, that's the reality of this world. Yes, it is. So let's complete our broadcast. But I'm not saying goodbye to you. I cannot say goodbye to you. It is impossible. It will be impossible even when I leave this planet. It will be impossible. My love will always warm your souls and hearts. The knowledge I have left behind will always help you. We will always be together with you, because we all live in God. In that there is love, the higher intelligence, the great creative force, which is called the Creator. And it is impossible to separate us. We will always live in Him, because we are all, the whole cosmos, the whole cosmic reality, we are His children. Different forms of life, but all His offspring created by Him, the only one in the cosmic reality of the inhabited cosmos. I wish all of you awareness. Make sense of the words and phrases I spoke about today. Find understanding, but by no means be afraid. The Creator loves you. Yes, as you are now. He clearly understands what is going on. It is not your fears. It is not your anger. It is not your selfishness. It is not your vanity and arrogance. It's not you. It is not you. You are the Creator's children. You are the creators. You are the makers. You are part of the higher intelligence, which is being perfected in the process of evolution. That's who you are. And He loves you just like that. He accepts and loves you as His children. And like any child, when he is a baby, he needs to learn everything, and the Creator is patiently waiting for you to begin the path of development, becoming, and self-improvement. And I wish you from the bottom of my heart to reach spiritual heights. My friends, if this broadcast has helped you in any way, I thank the Creator and those spiritual forces that have helped me today, that serve you always and in eternity. I thank you, I thank them, I thank the Creator, and see you again. Goodbye, friends.